This is our tech bite number 9 and it's about Google Slides and PowerPoint. Okay, so as promised, we're going to go over some tips and tricks on Google Slides and PowerPoint. So I am going to do some of them in Google Slides, and then I'll show you a similar thing or trick within Google Slides. So we're going to start with the shape of your slide. So sometimes it opens in the mode 3x4, which is the standard size of an old screen. So you might want to change the formatting by going to the page setup and changing to the 16:9, which is more the shape of a modern screen of a computer. So that when you display it, when you show it on the screen or on a projector, it looks right. In Google Slides, it's going to be very similar. You go to File, Page Setup, and you have the option for widescreen. In both tools, you have the option to customize and pick any size, which means that you can create your memes using PowerPoint or Google Slides as well. So once you have the size that you want, you press apply and then you're ready. All right, so first of all, when you need to edit your slides, you will see that at the top you have a lot of tools. Each of those tabs will have a collection of tools within that are called ribbon. This is the ribbon, and in there you will see a collection of tools that are available for each function. So most of these are very self-explanatory, so there is no need to explain them. In Google Slides, you will see that there are a lot less tools. The difference is that Google Slides keep the tools kind of out of the way, and they only appear as you select different things. So you will see that a lot more tools appear when you have some object selected. If it's an image, more options for images will appear. If it's text, more options for text will appear, and so on and so forth. All right, so in our last video, I told you how images are better than writing too many words. So one thing that you want to make sure that you use is graphic organizers to explain ideas, maps when you're talking about locations, and images to illustrate or explain a concept or represent a concept. So one thing that you want to keep in mind is that there are right ways and not so right ways to use images. So we're going to go over some basics. Infographics are graphics that are used to represent data and usually are presented in form of a poster, but the same concept can be used in your presentations. So instead of using the same old bar graph or pie graph, you can use graphics to try to represent the data that you're trying to convey. So for example, using word clouds or using shapes to represent, say for example, the size of a sample. If there are more boys than girls, then the shape of a boy is bigger than the shape of a girl. And you kind of get the idea. Think of graphics that you can use to represent data that are a little more engaging than your regular graphics. If you're interested in learning more about this, I recommend that you open that QR and explore that website, and it will tell you a little more about using graphics to represent data. This website will give you access to editable maps where you can create different types of maps coloring different areas of the maps. Using images for your presentations, one thing you want to keep in mind is that you should only use images that you have the legal right to use. So there are websites where you can find free images, and if you use this QR code, it will take you to a website that will give you a couple of places where you can find free images for education use. PowerPoint comes with its own collection of images. If you go to pictures, you will see that you have the option to search for photos or to go to the clip art browser. But actually, once you click there, you have access to all the different options. You can go through the collections, they have different categories, or you can go and browse by images. You can also, from within Microsoft, depending on what version you have, there might be an option to search online, and that will take you to a collection of Microsoft images that you can use for free. In Google Slides, you can insert images, and obviously you can insert from your computer or your drive, but there's an option to search the web. And the nice thing about this option within Google Slides is when you search images here, all the images that you find are ready for you to use with the right license. So you are allowed to use them in your presentations. Regarding text, remember I already covered this topic. You don't want to put too much text because the more text you put, the smaller the size, and it becomes hard to read. Plus, it is distracting to your audience because they're trying to read while you're talking. So you want to keep it short, and if it's a difficult concept, to use graphics and images to explain. You also want to take advantage of the existing layouts. Every presentation comes with different layouts that you can pick from to display your information in a certain way. So when you have, for example, when you have two content, you have to be careful that the content does not compete with the other content. So usually if you're going to put two columns with content, what you're trying to do is make a compare and contrast. Otherwise, try to not have competing texts. What else should you consider? When you are creating your slides, remember I talked about contrast and repetition. So when we are talking about contrast and repetition, it's important to understand which colors go together well and which colors make it easier for the viewer to understand the information on your slides. So the good thing about this is that somebody already explored these and already created certain themes, and they have the right colors for contrast, the right organization of the colors so that they don't compete with your information. And those are the themes that are already in your Google slide or on your PowerPoint. And in PowerPoint, you will have one of these tabs at the top be all the different themes that you can choose from. And when you choose a theme, it will apply it on your presentation, on all of the slides of your presentation. Google Slides also has themes available. So if you click on a slide and look at the menu at the top, you will see there's your background layout. So these are the different layouts that you have. And then right next to it is the themes. There are not as many themes here as PowerPoint has, for sure. Luckily, there are quite a few free available templates online that you can download. So there are other places where you can find more modern themes, and one of my favorites is a place called Slides Go. Same with Slides Carnival. It's another place where you can download free templates for slideshows. In addition to that, there are tools online that you can use to create your own themes. For example, this app in Canva, if you upload your image, it will tell you what colors will go with it. Another tool also in Canva will show you already pre-selected color palettes, or it will let you generate your own. You can also go to this website called Colors. I'm not sure if you pronounce it like that, but anyway, I call it Colors. And here you can work through their app to find a color scheme that you like. So anyway, so all of these tools will help you find colors that go together well. Regarding fonts, there are two main types of fonts, and I know you're going to say, no, Gabby, there's way more than two fonts. I know that, but we can split them into two categories: sans serif and serif. Sans serif means without the little tail, and serif means it has that little tail that connects one letter with another when you're writing, say, for example, in cursive. The reason why that matters is because sans serif fonts are easier to read on a screen, while serif fonts are easier to read in paper. In PowerPoint, the fonts that you are able to use are the fonts that are installed on your hard drive. So when you go to your PowerPoint, you look at the fonts, and when you click on the drop-down menu, you will see that these are all the fonts that you have available to you. Now, if you want more fonts, you will have to install new fonts into your hard drive and then restart PowerPoint. In Google Slides, you have a collection of fonts already installed in your system, which is not a lot, but then you have this more fonts option, which allows you to pick from a huge collection of fonts without having to install. You just, once you find the font that you like, you check it, you say okay, and now it's available on your menu. All right, one trick I really like is the paint format, and I showed you this before. I'm just going to show you real quick that you can also do it in Google Slides. So first you format your text. Once you have it the way you want it, you use the paintbrush to copy the format and paint it on something else. So here we go. Here is the same thing in Google Slides. Here's another super cool trick. You can change the shape of a picture. First you select the picture, then you go to the crop and use the drop down menu to crop with a shape, and then you choose the shape that you want to modify, and then you double click on the image to adjust it. So I want it to be a circle, so I'm going to pull those lines until and you have to see that there is a little like dark little dash that I can pull, and once I have it the way I want it, I can click away. Same thing in PowerPoint. You can just click on the crop tool, then select the shape, double click, or click edit on the image, and then adjust it, and then click away. Okay, so I want to insert an image as a background, so I'm going to go under themes to background, and I'm going to choose picture, choose the picture. I'm going to find the picture that I want, which I know where it is, and then I want to put a clip art on top of that image. So now it's time to add my clip art. So I know where it is. I'm going to insert it. Once I insert the image, you'll see that I have three options. I want to put it the right size, the original size. So that's what I choose. And then I'm going to get rid of the text because I don't need it. So to get rid of that white area, I just have to check the format picture and choose the option to delete the color, and it will try to guess the color I want to get rid of, and I just need to adjust that it has the entire car, press enter, and my background, my square, will disappear. Now I can resize and put the image where I want it. To do this in Google Slides is a little more work. I have my image in the background already, but you see that I don't have options to get rid of that background in Google Slides. So what I do is I go to an app called Remove Background, And once I'm there, I will upload my image, which I have it ready. I'm gonna drag it and drop it onto the screen, and it will immediately remove the background. All I have to do now is download and then insert it into my slideshow. So you see it's just a couple more steps, but it's very easy. I'll drag and drop the image that just downloaded, and there it is. Now I can resize it and make it fit. Last thing I want to show you is something a little more advanced, and it's something that I use a lot. So under themes, at the end, you'll see that you have save theme and and edit master. So I'm going to do edit slide master, and this is very important because it gives you access to the template that you're using, which means that you can modify it. Anything I add on this slide, which is the main slide, will appear on all of the slides. And then these are the different layouts, which I can change if I want to. So I'm going to insert an image here, and you'll see that it will appear on all of the slides. So because I'm adding this image in the master slide, it will apply itself into all of the slides there. So if you think about it, anything that you want to appear in all of your slides, you can put in the master slide. Or if you want to change your theme, if you change it in the master slide, all of the slides that use that template will change as well. So there it is. It's in all my slides. And you can see that was super easy. And you'll see that I can do the same thing in Google Slides. I go to View, Theme Master, and then I will pick the main slide. I will add my image, and then I will close my master, and the image will apply to all of my slides. Okay, guys, that's it. Until next time.